if you're living with the narcissist for a really long time, then you are bound to question yourself at some point that am I a narcissist and are they normal?
Hi, my name is Rajveer.
Hi, my name is Nikhila and
Welcome to the Zen-G Podcast. Okay, so as I was talking about being with someone that way in the same household, whether it's a sibling or a parent, when it comes to self love, when you start going down that path, it might feel like, am I becoming them? Am I mirroring that behavior as well, that narcissistic behavior maybe? Or even if it's in a way setting healthy boundaries, you might feel like if I'm setting the strict boundaries or these, hard boundaries, am I becoming someone like them? Because if you're not succumbing to my rules and regulations of my life from my perspective, you're not allowed to be in my life. They might feel that way, that in a way they are mirroring that narcissistic or self-centered behavior that they have seen in their household with a sibling, with a relative, with a parent maybe. How does one not feel guilty about that and at the same time understand the difference between setting those kind of boundaries, that behavior, and self-love?
okay, I understand your question very well. So, Rajvi, two, three things to it. First of all, if you're living with the narcissist for a really long time, then you are bound to क्या बोलते हैं, question yourself at some point that am I a narcissist and are they normal? And that is a very very typical byproduct of this phenomena of gaslighting. Right, they gaslight you so much to that extent that you start wondering ki bloody, am I a narcissist, am I only the problem, or am I the question mark, ho kya raha hai, kar kya rahe hai, like what's going on.
Right.
Okay, then for the smallest of the things you have to reaffirm. So example, the waking up example that I gave you. Example, if my partner forcibly wakes me up the minute he wakes up. Now, सुनने में देखा जाए, it's a very funny thing and it's a very small thing. But
it's
if
not.
Right, I might have had a long day. I might have been up working. I'm tired and I went to the bed very very late. He went to the bed at 10 a.m. I went to the bed at 2 o'clock. So it's just not okay to wake me up whenever you wake up. And अगर देखने में जाए तो ये कोई कारण नहीं है, ये
people used to say that that's not a reason big enough. ऐसे reason की वजह से थोड़ी.
But you know how torturesome that can
Exactly.
be, because sleep is a very integral part of your mental health. Any doctor, any person will tell you that either he has to change this behavior or you guys cannot be, because every day you're cutting 3 hours of your sleep just because he cannot wake up alone and he needs someone to talk to. Not okay. Now that's a toxic trait. We are identifying it, we are talking about it, we are dealing it. और ये मैंने बहुत छोटा example दिया. We are not even going to the bigger issues yet. And my partner wants me to wake up with him every day, irrespective, no matter what, even if it is a Sunday. Then for the smallest of the thing, you are over explaining to you that no, Nikhila, it is not normal. You are allowed to sleep if you are working till late. Your job is a very stressful one. ऐसे नहीं होता है. He has to understand. Then first I have to convince myself that no, whatever I'm expecting or whatever I'm saying or whatever boundary that I'm setting is normal. It is okay. And then I have to convince it to the other person, which is quite a draining task.
It is. It seems like World Cup pressure, and especially in the beginning.
है ना? So it is quite a draining task to put my foot down. And then we start negotiating that what, ये इतना भी बुरा नहीं है. So now there is highly substandard behavior and downright cheap. So now what we do is that डाउनराइट चीप को हम बिल्कुल भी टॉलरेट नहीं करना चालू किया, एंड मीडियम सब स्टैंडर्ड बिहेवियर को हम फाइट कर रहे हैं, बट हाईली लाइक सोफेस्टिकेटेड सब स्टैंडर्ड बिहेवियर वी आर लेटिंग गो कि ये तो इतनी सी छोटी बात है, इसको छोड़ देते हैं. सो नाउ वी हैव लोवर्ड आवर स्टैंडर्ड्स. एग्जाम्पल, I am like complaining कि मॉर्निंग में उठने नहीं देता एंड एवरीथिंग. नाउ वी हैव ऑल्सो हैव जॉइंट फाइनेंसेस एंड ही स्पेंडिंग लाइक क्रेजी. Okay, then I have to cook food daily. So 5-6 things are there. Now I'm going to let at least 2 of them slide, which are not as important, but they are abusive in nature. मेरा नींद ही नहीं हो रहा है सब चक्कर में यार. Am I making sense?
You're making sense.
So हमारे standards ऐसे भी गिर जाते हैं उस चक्कर में. ठीक है. So what happens is, first of all, we finding ourselves and understanding ourselves in the middle of all of that is very important. And establishing an identity, और वो usually childhood में या teenage में होना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, वो adulthood में होता है. And most of the guilt that you were talking about is stemmed into this.
The childhood and teenage.
Yeah, because what happens is you become very hyper vigilant around this person. You're walking on eggshells all the time. You have empathy of 2 people now, because I don't have any empathy. Right? And with that kind of empathy or toxic empathy or unnecessary empathy, obviously तुम्हारा guilt ऐसे trigger होगा, मेरा थोड़ा late होगा.
Makes a lot of sense.
Right? So first of all, that is why the idea of self and the other person, you have to separate that. The concept is to see that person as they are and know that what I need or what I am giving is not necessarily what they want or what they are receiving. Right? So I have to set my boundaries so that I can tune into their needs better. Okay? So I say that, Rajveer, no call after 10 o'clock. Then you can tune in and you can say, okay, fine, her sleep is important and that is why probably she's saying this and all of that. Then you come up. मैम, वो आपने जो बोला था ये टाइम्स वो मेरे को ये टाइम तक चाहिए. फिर इफ़ यू गिव इट टू मी बाय 7, मैं आपको 10 बजे फ़ोन नहीं करूँगा. सो नाउ यू आर सेटिंग अ रिवर्स बाउंड्री एंड वी आर एक्चुअली हेडिंग टुवर्ड्स अ सॉल्यूशन. मेकिंग सेंस?
Makes a lot of sense.
बट इफ़ यू होल्ड दैट गिल्ट टुवर्ड्स मी दैट आई एम बीइंग सेल्फिश टुवर्ड्स मैम, मैं ऐसे कैसे बोलूँ, मैंने तो बोल दिया, मेरा तो हो गया, बट you are festering that guilt, struggling through that conversation कि मैं कैसे बोलूँ कि मैम आप प्लीज़ 7 बजे तक कर दो. फिर उनके सेशंस भी होते हैं, शी इज़ वर्किंग सो हार्ड, शी इज़ डूइंग दिस ऑल्सो दैट ऑल्सो. तो थोड़ा मैं समझ के नहीं ले सकता क्या? तो 1 time 2 times एवरीथिंग समझ के लोगे आप. बट इन दी एंड वी विल हैव टू वर्क अ वेरी डिसिप्लिन स्केड्यूल आउट वेर इन यू आर ऑल्सो नॉट सफरिंग. एंड वो तभी होगा जब आप वो कॉन्वर्सेशन करते हो, या फिर वी विल part ways completely. Either of the 2 things. So that communication happens only when you separate yourself from the other person and you stop over empathizing and toxic empathizing with other person. And toxic empathy के बारे में कोई बात नहीं करता है, trauma bonding के बारे में कोई बात नहीं करता है ना? So to overcome that guilt, you have to learn how to set those boundaries which define who you are and who the other person is.
Yeah, so first defining yourself and the other person, setting that boundary, then setting the other boundaries.
Yes, rather making that distinction.
Okay, so that you don't feel guilty for setting the boundaries.
Correct. And you must have noticed that kids from dysfunctional families or who have abusive parents are hyper vigilant.
Yeah.
They
as you said, walking on eggshells.
Yes.
All the time.
And they will sit in the room and they will start sensing the room. Okay, ye naraz hai, I have to like manage it out over here.
Talk in a way that it doesn't act in a way that it doesn't hurt or put the other or make the other person uncomfortable even in the slightest way.
Yeah, so I have to balance that out. This person is okay, I can relax a bit with this person. This person is extremely aggressive and dominating, so I just have to keep quiet around them. I have to fawn around them. right? They are hyper vigilant people. They are always alert. And one of the biggest journeys when you take when it comes to self healing or getting out of a toxic relationship and practicing self love is to change those neural pathways, is to change those habits, or to change that hyper vigilance and be able to walk in a room of full people, relax and enjoy, not care about anybody's emotions, right? Or not at least be alert all the time that am I hurting anyone. You know, that is one of the major work that we do in therapy as well, where we actually change the cognition and you become very comfortable in your skin. कि ठीक है, मतलब उसको अच्छा लगा, अगर जेन्युइनली मैंने बुरा बोला है तो मैं अपोलोजाइज करूँगी, वरना उसका मन शांत करना इज नॉट माई जॉब, right? So then you can probably overcome that guilt.
It takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work, but it's worth it.
It is definitely worth it. So thank you guys so much. Do hit us up with a lot more questions so that we can discuss that in later episodes.
And please do like, subscribe, share, comment, and follow us for more such content. And if you have any questions that you want to address you want us to address in our podcast, then do type it in the comment section. Okay, do that, guys.